So on November 24th, Fu Peng, who is the chief economist at Northeast Securities, delivered a speech at the HSBC Private Wealth Client Sharing Session in Shanghai. He highlighted that China's economic problems are far more severe than they appear on the surface, with the core issue being insufficient consumption. I say the core issue is China's demographic problem, the dramatic decline in population. So he provided an example, and I think this example is very illustrative of China's demographic problem, or China's lack of consumption as a result of its demographic problem. So he said, when a middle-aged man buys a house for 2 million yuan and later sells it for 8 million to a young man, a young person, the essence of this transaction is that the middle-aged person has taken away 30 years of the young man's future income. The middle-aged person can live comfortably for 30 years, while the young man bears the burden of a 30-year mortgage. In other words, the middle-aged man's wealth through the resale of the property rests on the earning potential of the young man for the next 30 years. Of course, if the young man can sell the 8 million yuan home for 10 million to an even younger buyer, he would profit 2 million. It wouldn't be a problem if the country is full of young people. In China, the fast decline birth rates present a big economic problem. When there are more young people, stocks and real estate presents family wealth. Conversely, when there are fewer young people, stocks and real estate essentially become family liabilities. Ultimately, the short-term wealth accumulated by vested interest groups actually represent the debts accumulated by another group. The problem now is that incomes no longer grow. If anything, they decline. When the latter's debt reaches a certain level, it will lead to the total collapse of the system. What economist Fu brought up is a systematic problem, is a structural problem in China's economy as a result of its demographic crisis. And another economist, Mr. Gao Shanwen, who is the chief economist at Essence Securities. Mr. Gao is an independent director at China Pacific Insurance Group. He's also the director of the China Chief Economist Forum. He described China's structural demographical problem with the below words. He said, the post-pandemic China is a place composed of a vibrant and busy elderly demographic, dispirited and inactive youth, and despairing middle-aged individuals who feel life has lost its purpose. He proved his point by showing graphs in which younger regions, meaning Chinese provinces with lower average age, have lower consumption, and older regions have higher consumption. It is counterintuitive. Normally, younger people like to spend money and older people spend less. But that's not the case in China. If you think about it, the older generations in urban China, especially those who work for the government, have paid off mortgages. They enjoy a lucrative pension from the government. They have no financial burdens. They enjoy their retirement life by doing square dancing every day, exercising, socializing, traveling, and even getting remarried. The biggest irony in China is that young Chinese can't afford to get married, but elderly Chinese are remarrying on a large scale. Not only young people can't afford a relationship, a spouse, young people can't afford real estate. They can't find a job. And they face the 996 work hours, meaning you work 9 to 9 for 6 days a week. And they also face pay cuts and layoffs. So a few days ago, a resignation letter submitted by a Gen Z from Beijing went viral. His letter perfectly explained the predicament that Mr. Gao described. The young man submitted the letter to his boss saying that he's better off going home to take care of his 4 elderly grandparents than working. So he described his family situation as such. He said he gave the monthly income, the monthly pension of his 4 parents. So his 4 retired grandparents receive a monthly pension ranging from 7,000 yuan a month to 10,000 yuan. So collectively, their total monthly income is 34,000 yuan. This young man makes 3,500 yuan a month. And also, each set of the grandparents have 2 to 3 apartments in Beijing. His own parents, who also work for the government, have 2 apartments in Beijing and a villa in the suburb of Beijing. His families are not high-ranking officials, but have good jobs in the system. In the resignation letter, he said, "My parents are both the only child in the family, and they work for the government. They don't have time to take care of their parents. I'm the only young person in the family. Despite working really hard, I make only 3,500 yuan a month. Therefore, I'd like to resign and stay at home to help take care of the 4 elders. Money isn't important," he said. "The health and longevity of my grandparents are what truly matter." Well, money does matter. The longevity of his grandparents will guarantee his future income. He's better off taking care of them to ensure their longevity than working 996 hours at his office. His letter provides the details for us to understand Mr. Gao's words. A vibrant and active elderly demographic, dispirited and inactive youth, and despairing middle-aged individuals who feel life has lost its purpose. This resignation letter sparked widespread attention. It went viral across the internet, and calling it a sensation would not be an exaggeration. China's youth unemployment, which we know is very high, but we don't believe that the 20% or the 19% official number is anywhere close to reality. So the way they do it is by expanding university enrollment, because unemployed youth are not counted as unemployed if they're still in school. Therefore, pushing young people into universities for further study is a method to postpone unemployment statistics by at least 2 years, if not 4 years, 4 to 5 years. So do you know the current ratio of undergraduates to graduate students at China's top universities, such as Tsinghua and Beijing University? It's 1 to 3. It means that if the schools have 5,000 undergraduates, they have 15,000 graduate students. So now a college diploma is worthless. Even a master's degree is worthless. And young people need a PhD to get a job.